Go ahead.
Thank you very much. Good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are right now. Thank you very much. It's my great honor to be here, and I'm very grateful to Dr. Repo Crozier, who chaired this panel, and also thanks very much to my two other panelists. It's my great pleasure to meet you. It's unfortunate that I couldn't be present in person at today's conference, which is also my first appearance, because my U.S. visa is delayed due to administrative processing, and this is a result due to the ongoing tensions between the U.S. and China over AI research. However, I firmly believe that scholarly research should transcend political barriers to foster global innovation and collaboration and advance our collective understanding. So back to the main topic today. So I will be presenting a machine learning application as a new art historical method for contextual analysis. And let me share my screen. This will be particularly, this machine learning application will be particularly useful for visual archives and museums. This approach aims to trace the circulation of photographs and understand the editing strategies in 20th century photo magazines. And I will then highlight 3 potential future directions for this application of combining machine learning with contextual analysis. As we all know, the 20th century saw the dissemination of countless photographs in print media, presenting a formidable challenge to humanities scholars tracing image circulation. This study demonstrates how computer vision as an auxiliary tool for image analysis can illuminate the intertextuality between images and accompanying textual captions in their context, thereby providing deeper insights into the evolution of editing strategies. And in this talk, I will highlight the importance of contextual analysis, a fundamental method of media studies and art history, and demonstrate how our methodology innovatively integrates this traditional approach with cutting-edge computer vision technology. As a case study for my approach, I will introduce the Jinchaji pictorial, a significant World War II era photographic publication of the Chinese Communist Party, or the CCP, which meticulously documented diverse facets of war, construction, and everyday life from 1937 to 1948. Despite the pictorial's historical significance, there has been little record on how their editors work and how their editorial manipulation of images within historical pictorials. So imagine if we could step back in time and peer directly into the minds of the magazine editors who craft an influential propaganda narratives of the past. What if we could reveal not just the final message delivered in the photograph, but the transformative journey of each image used to produce and convey that message? And today we're going to use computer vision to do exactly that. Although the technical details are not the focus of my presentation today, I will give a brief introduction of the computer vision pipeline that's developed by my team. For our source dataset, we have more than 2,000 original historical photographs from the Harvard Yanqing Library. We also have a target dataset of more than 1,000 magazine pages scanned from the Jinchaji pictorials. Because sometimes the magazine pages had wide margins or large empty spaces, or has several images published on it, we use an image cropping tool, a cropping model, to crop the smaller images out from the magazine pages. And because we want to compare the original photographs in the source dataset with the cropped printed images, So we trained an ensemble of 3 machine learning models on the cropped printed images and the original photographs. This model then compared the similarities of images between the source dataset and the target dataset, thus identified patterns in the circulation of historical photographs and reviewed the editing strategies of propaganda magazines. Our model achieved a promising 77.8% top 15 retrieval accuracy on our evaluation datasets, offering a strong foundation for the in-depth visual analysis. By comparing the original photographs and their printed versions in pictorial magazines identified in our pipeline, computer vision has been instrumental in contextualizing historical photographs in 2 significant ways. Firstly, this comparative framework helps juxtapose original and printed images and thus shed light on the manipulations executed by editors and darkroom personnel prior to the image publication. So as you can see in the current example, the upper part of the original image was slightly cropped out in the printed version. And secondly, computer vision affords us the opportunity to map the publication trajectory and circulation history of these photographs. So as you can see in this example, the original image, when it gets published, was accompanied by various different textual captions. And you can see the original photograph was again cropped when it gets published. So what are the interesting outcomes this computer vision pipeline help us do? So first, misinformation and conflicting information are common phenomena in historical archives. The identification of these discrepancies between the original image and its printed version can be crucial in uncovering hidden motifs behind the editorial decisions. So in our first case, we have found that one photograph in its 1943 issue was attributed to photographer Kong Wang. And as you can see in the caption here, it was titled "The Jinchaji 8th Route Army Outside Xifengkou." But if we conduct a fact check, we can see, as scholar Su Sushi has pointed out, these photographs was actually taken by photographer Xia Fei rather than Kong Wang. And the real shooting location was in Futuyu Laiyuan County rather than Xifengkou Qianxi County. Now, looking at a map that created by the Japanese military in 1941, and it's clear that the Xifengkou, which is here, was located at the border between the hinterland China and the Manchuria. So historians may speculate that the use of a wrong caption may be intentional misinformation by the Chinese propagandists as they sought to exaggerate their sphere of influence through modern mass media, reaching beyond China's hinterland. Our model has also identified that one historical original photographs taken by Xia Fei in our source dataset was cropped into 2 separate photographs and published in Jinchaji Pictorial series in 1946. It was taken during the Japanese mopping up campaigns in China from 1940 to 1943, resulting in the mass killing of Chinese troops and civilians. It's possible that due to the shortage of film supply, only a few photographs were taken by photographers, and editors had to split one film into 2 separate photographs to provide visual evidence of Japanese military invasion. And in our third case study, our source data contain another photograph of local peasant Liu Hanxing's enlistment in the army. And our model found 4 matches, indicating that the photograph was published at least 4 times. And the photograph first appeared in the palette issue of the Jinchaji Pictorial in 1942. And the page is titled "Modern Families, Parents Send Their Children, Wives Send Their Boys." A thematic title like this clearly indicates that the editors focus on familial relationships. A few months later, in the first official issue of the pictorial, the photograph was published for the second time, and it was clear that the family ties has diminished in importance. The theme of the current page had been changed from model families to people of the border areas joining the volunteer conscripts in large numbers. And the photograph was published for the third time in a later issue in 1945. And this publication gave very little space to the photo. However, it's noticeable that the peasant's name had been removed from the photo and replaced with common people. Now, in the 1946 issue of the Jinchaji pictorial, the photograph was published for the last time, and likewise, the peasant's name was omitted, and he was referred to as a youth. So in observing the enlistment of Liu Hanxing, we notice as the story progresses, family ties yield to broader political activities, with individual details gradually receding into the background and abstract meanings communicated through textual supplanting them to forge a unified narrative in socialist culture within the realm of propaganda. Now, at the forefront of this study stands our innovative computer vision pipeline. It serves as a powerful analytical tool to explore the nature of visual representation and the power of political narratives. By enabling the precise identification in printed media and tracking of image provenance and circulations, it provides an unprecedented opportunity to delve into the complex intersections of aesthetics, politics, and misinformation that underpin image context. Now, I want to point out three potential future directions and opportunities derived from this application. So first, tracking the genealogical relationship of printed images is an extension to our current studies specified in this paper. For example, the two images on screen were produced at around the same time. The etching on the left was published in 1938, and the woodcut was published in 1936. And this is a famous Chinese leftist writer Lu Xun. So judging from the light and shadow and the angle of this writer's face, it's evident that artists of the two printed images have consulted the same source of exemplary prototype, and thereby having genealogical relationship. By identifying similar print images like these, we can gain insight into the technological details of printing techniques and how the printing technologies have changed over time, which affected the quality of images produced. And secondly, this application can also help examine knowledge production. So our second proposed direction delves into the genealogy of printed images spanning up to hundreds of years. And this investigation illuminates the process of knowledge production in historical illustrations. Take, for instance, this is in the right frame, this is the compendium of Materia Medica, a medical book from the Ming Dynasty dated 1596. And the illustration in the right frame, as you can see, characterized by their simplistic, sketch-like style, contrasts starkly with the detailed depiction in the illustration of Book of Poetry, which was dated from the Qing Dynasty in 1771. Through the meticulous examination of botanical and zoological illustrations from these varied historical periods, scholars then can piece together early conceptualizations of the natural world. And these exploration offers insights not only into the development of scientific knowledge, but also into the broader narrative of human culture and society. Through comparing and contrasting distinctions and parallels between these images, historians can trace how human knowledge accumulates over time. And third, retrieval from stylized images. So using historical photographs as templates, artists often craft illustrations to commemorate historical events or transform historical figures into political symbols. So again, here the figure is the famous leftist writer Lu Xun. And this transformation can occur due to various reasons, such as aesthetic preferences and political agendas. And it's thus important to investigate the source of the creation to find out when and where this stylistic transition occurs in order to understand how photographs are manipulated and politicized. So as a summary, these comparisons and tracing of the image circulations underscores the critical role context plays in both historiography and pictorial magazine editing, as the significance of individual units of information is often context dependent. And it is my humble hope that our computer vision project will not only prove beneficial to visual archives and museum professionals, but also catalyze further innovative endeavors in the realm of digital humanities. So I offer our work as a modest contribution, aspiring to inspire greater and more significant scholarly achievement in this field. Thank you very much.